right. Am I live? Am I here? We are early, not too early. 4 minutes early. Making sure we have no technical difficulties. And we have Andrew. Goodspeed is in the house. Let's drop that down. And we have Kino Kid in the house. So that's pretty much the only people that are going to show up. So welcome. Where's the... yeah, there we go. At 75, Blair G, Neil, Simone. I tell you, it's just an influx of humanity. Some of whom I had an opportunity to meet up with. I met Pat 75 the first time. Kid is a member. Andy is sometimes referred to him as a member. I think he's used a more colloquial term. Thank you for being a member. You get to see the weekly show like 12 hours early. Let's see, Neil letting us know who is in the house. Buck Savage, thanks for joining us, Buck. Glad you can make it. We're going to relive the joy that was Vegas 48. Well, we're not really going to relive it. I'm just going to try and see if any of you can remember the stuff I can. PJ Slots and Entertainment should have brought my Wednesday show coffee mug, since this is the closest we have to a Wednesday show at this point. I tell you, there's no one's member I'd rather accept. Oh, what? Thanks for being a member. Blair G in the house. Tell you, our pocketbooks took a hit this past trip without Blair to buy our drinks. I had to settle for multiple banquet beers at the hands of Duder. That is correct, Simone. I believe I may have slept in my shoes, but I'm not really sure. Has Caitlin joined us and said hello? I did not see her come. She is a big part of today's show. There you go. Hello, dear. Perhaps if everyone raises like $10,000, she will appear in the next live stream. Probably not. Have to refund all the money. She is not here in the studio. She is about 4 miles away, though, which is significantly closer than the last live stream, when I believe she was about 600 miles away. And there's Duder on cue, almost. Duder, did you bring some banquets to the house tonight? Probably not. It is now officially 8 o'clock, so I'm sure all of the very sort of well-behaved members of our community will be joining us now. So no one. Frontina. Sound like a variety of cheese. Call her Frontina. No doubt Walt is deeply involved in whiskification. I think Andy may have already fallen asleep. We have Josh Ray. Josh Ray's videos in the house. And I believe I just saw Ronnie C. pass by. There you go. All right, yeah, so we have, we're going to just kind of talk about the trip a little bit. But we do have a food find tonight, and this food find is courtesy of Caitlin. So we should probably do that one early. We have Cinnamon Girl in the house. Thank you for dropping in. Yeah, it's about 10 minutes of cinnamon on this past trip, but hey, at least we got to bond briefly. So appreciate that. Let's see who we got. How many people we got in the house? I think my monitor has frozen up here, but yeah, that was a great a great time this past, well, now 10 days ago or so. We get back. Been 10 days since, well, 10 days, 11 days since the wedding. So, yeah, pretty amazing. All the people that made an appearance on that Saturday. For some of those folks, the only time I got to see them. In many cases, people I had never met before. Many of us bonded during the course of of what became a rather long night. That somehow ended up uh, in someone's room. There was Malort whiskey involved. Yes, Cinnamon, I could not find you in the Cosmo either. And people told me it would be very easy, that all I had to do was just kind of listen and I would hear you because you would be very loud, but it was not apparently to be the case. Shelly in the house. We haven't seen Shelly in a while, but if JP knew Shelly was here, he'd be all over that. Anyway, thank you again. PJ getting ready to head out to Vegas, I think on my mother's birthday. He's going out on the 21st or something. Anyway, good to have Shelly with us. It's been a while since we've seen her in the lives. Everyone, please welcome Shelly back into the beautiful community that we have here. Then my girl's quiet when she's alone. Aren't we all? Yeah, no, great time. Yeah, it's just, I don't know what to say about that. It was quite a moving ceremony. I wept. Fortunately, I was able to use Daniel Ocean's shirt and to wipe the tears away with that. Felt like we really bonded over that. Keep Daniel in your thoughts. He's battling a kidney stone. Wow. Yeah, the lighting in here is terrible for some reason. But yeah. So no, a good time all. And if you watch the vlog, you got like 47.3% of it, and the rest was just lost to technical difficulties and discharged phones and general malfeasance on my part. But yeah, no, a heck of a trip. I think the first people I actually saw out of the community was actually Seeking Vegas Sunrise. I think they are still in transit as we speak. And I ran into them and almost literally ran into them at the Cosmo that afternoon. There was a lot of time spent at the Cosmo. I think everybody would kind of agree with that. It ended up being kind of a central location even before people moved in. No, I think I was there for like 4 or 5 days, which not so good. But, yeah, Ace of Vegas in the house. Yeah, very little has happened. We haven't had the exciting, which is pretty exciting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about. I guess it was good seeing the whole family of the Kinos and such. Did not really know who they were because I'm not really the kind of person you bring home to your family. Don't listen to that, Caitlin. But yeah, it was great to see them. The kids looked amazing. The flower girl was really the star of the show, I have to say, personally. She had definitely had a kind of a. She was sassy. Sassy. Ran into the Good Speeds and Mr. Duder, who would reappear over and over again like a bad penny throughout the entire trip. He brought beer, it's okay. But yeah, so we hung out and played a really weird game that I think was featured in Duder's vlog and mine. I'm sure it will appear in Andy's at some point. And it took us like an hour to just figure out what the rules were, but we hung out. We hung out. There we go. We got the SVS in the house. They can still smell me. Yeah, no. So we hung out there most of the day, and then was fortunate enough to be invited to a very elite dinner party featuring the Goodspeeds and the Andersons, who've not yet appeared. Then he said he was going to come. He's either napping or he's catching the end of the Raptors game, maybe both. Liz may be on the wine. I don't know. Yes, everybody loves the flower girl. Very nice. She made you stop and look at her. She wasn't just going to come in, do her thing. She's going to get your attention first. Knows how to really take over the house, unlike some of us. There you go, go Raptors. I agree. Very a nice surprise this year in the National Basketball Association. Yeah, so that was a fun night, and then we had some. I believe Simone may have had a few too many cocktails that night, so she was more inebriated than I was, more inebriated than everyone was. So it's time for them to depart. I had a nice night of Keno action. No, not with the Kenos, bad, but had some good Keno action at Bally's that night, including my best win of the trip, which was like $470. And it all pretty much went downhill from there. But yeah, so good, a good first day in Vegas. I remember all of it. If I really don't know that Andy and Simone would have anything to add to that. Yeah, the lemon drops, particularly since you were drinking everyone's lemon drops. A little wrong. But anyway, hey, 21 people in the house. If you're here and you're enjoying the madness, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you don't mind. Even on the way out is fine. But, yeah, definitely. The drink service was excellent on at least, particularly on March 17th. Candy in the house. See you as well. Yeah, the I couldn't get them down fast enough at any place I went, really, on the 17th or the 18th. They were bringing those drinks, and they certainly were at Cosmo that afternoon. Desperate for some tipping action. So yeah, on the 18th, I didn't get up that early. I woke up early enough that I went ahead and started doing the blog first thing. I will say one more thing about the 17th. I think I had the chicken parm, and many of you who've watched the channel know that I've sampled many frozen chicken parms, but the chicken parm at Batista's was a little bit better than that. But I think I might just go back to the spaghetti and meatballs. It's more along along those lines. Yeah. So no, but definitely, if you've never checked out Batista's, probably most of you have. It's definitely a cool experience. Uh, you know, it's very conventional Italian American food, but it's in an environment that you rarely ever see. Had the opportunity to go there a couple of different times, and certainly would not hesitate to return. Same thing with Bally's. A lot of people thought Bally's would be already kind of torn up with construction. It really wasn't. On the 18th, moved over to New York, which was seamless. A good experience there. Oh, Pat 75 dropping some serious money. That's how you get those comped rooms. But yeah, on the 18th, moved over to New York, and the 18th quickly got out of hand. Ended up making it back to the Cosmo again. And there was Crystal. We hung out with Crystal quite a while that afternoon. Then we ended up at Hofbrauhaus, and well, there were liters of beer and gaseous substances. And I don't know. I finally made it back to the hotel and was like passed out at 9 p.m. And speaking of passed out at 9 p.m., we've got a special food find here today, and it is courtesy of Miss Caitlin. Love you, dear. It turns out that she is a member of a bizarre subculture of people. Yeah, she's a juggalo. That's right, juggalo, insane clown posse. I don't know if we have any other ICP fans in the house tonight, but I'm now officially one because I have to be. But apparently, the ICP people love this obscure soda that you can normally only get around the Detroit area, and it's called Fago. You read that, PJ? There it is, Fago. Uh, and So Caitlin sent me like an assortment pack of Fago, and we're going to try it. That's right. I'm going to say whoop whoop, but I have to do that before I actually sample it. We've got 6 different flavors, so I thought maybe I'd throw it open to the crowd. We have cotton candy. I'm not going to open all these because, I mean, it's perfectly good soda, and there's no way I'm drinking 144 ounces of soda. Beer? Yeah. Soda? No. So we have cotton candy, which sounds a little weird. We've got pineapple, which I think actually sounds like it might be kind of good. We've got raspberry blueberry, maybe. We have got peach, also sounds kind of good. We have got cream soda, which I don't think I like cream soda, but I haven't had it in a long time. And something just called red pop. They just arrived a little while ago. They're not very cold, so we're going to use some ice. So, any thoughts on what we should do amongst these flavors? I see Caitlin is bonding. That's good. Good eats, good beers, good ass smacks. Whoop whoop. All right. Well, somebody choose a soda for me. Apparently, the gatherings they have like wet T-shirt contests, and they spray women with Fago. Maybe that would impress Andy. I'm sure it would if he was here. Diabetic coma. Hey, gambling granny. Great to see you. It was fun hanging out with you and Dice, at least what I remember of it. Go red, blueberry, pineapple, cotton candy. Well, this is very helpful. The red pop, cotton candy. All right. I it's a good choice because it doesn't sound terrible. It also doesn't sound great to me. We're going with the red pop. So whoever selected the red pop, you'll win a prize. I don't know what that prize is. Everything's backwards on this whole thing. So we're doing the red pop. Diana, nice to see you. One of our many Canadian viewers. Watch the pop. It'll be pretty funny if I open this and it like sprays all over me because it'll be live on the YouTube channel. There's a little bit of sizz. We're going for the red. There's a scent already coming out of it. It's very aromatic. I don't know what's in this that makes it, maybe there are illicit drugs in here. I don't know. It was delivered by Amazon, so hopefully not. I don't think there's any brownies going on here. All right, here we go. Red pop going right in the mustache glass. Whoa, whoa. A lot of carbonation going on here. Great deal of carbonation. Yeah, it looks like it's strawberry. Not a huge strawberry guy, but it sounds better than, what do you want to call it? It sounds better than cotton candy. What's cotton candy? Oh, Canada. That's right. All right, that's like only a third of this thing. It's gonna take me like a month to drink these. Maybe Caitlin will help me some one of these days. Denise, thank you for dropping in tonight. We're in the middle of a food find. We don't do those very often anymore, but we've got some Fago soda from the Detroit area, courtesy of ICP and the Juggalos. And before you drink this, you're supposed to go whoop whoop, which sounds like something Duder would say. So whoop whoop. It tastes like strawberry, artificial strawberry soda. Hey, we have someone joining us live from Las Vegas, Denise in the house. We were all sad that she was not able to be a part of our festivities a couple of weeks back, but glad you were able to make it back to Vegas. If you're staring at the stratosphere, are you at the Sahara? So here's the deal. If you're in the Detroit area and you see this stuff and you want to try it, it's fine. Tastes fine to me. Um, it maybe tastes a little less artificial than some stuff. So maybe it's got like real sugar instead of corn syrupy stuff in it. I don't know. But anyway, there you go. I'm sipping on this for the rest of the show, which Andy is hoping will be a very short period of time, because I think he's beginning to be under the influence of something. Opposite side, okay. She's staying at the Bridger Inn or something. But anyway, so yeah, so yeah, the 18th I got away from me. Before I knew it, it was the 19th. I was waking up at 2 a.m. and I'd already had plenty of sleep, so it was time to investigate the world in the middle of the night. No one else was around. You cannot verify that any of this is true, but I stayed up basically till like 5 a.m. playing at New York, New York, and also I walked over to MGM Grand. And yeah, absolutely, Andy. If you got any spare brownies, send them over. I want to send that by a private courier, though. So, yeah, I will say there's one thing about visiting the MGM Grand at 3 a.m. on a Saturday morning. There's like this big club there or something, and there's people all over that are like kind of crazy drunk looking, but like really good looking too. Not, not that you're not, but just saying. Um, the weirdest thing I saw is there was this girl who had there was a lot of women carrying their high heels because they don't listen to Vegas tips and tricks. Who tells them not to wear high heels in Las Vegas? They didn't listen. But one of them also had this like big bag she was carrying with her, and she stopped at one point and kind of got down on her knees, and I realized she was vomiting into the bag. Her friend stopped to help her or hold her hair or whatever women do when one is vomiting and the other is not. And she seemed to be vomiting and all. And then, she kind of got up and, she wiped her face off and she took her bag and she continued on her way. So there's something you don't see every day. But yeah, definitely an interesting experience. Got to check out another late night Vegas club experience, and it is quite the scene. MGM Grand was really disappointing though. I've never been a huge fan of that place, but it's like run down. I mean, it looks worse than Excalibur. The casino at Excalibur, it looks cleaner and more and nicer than the one at MGM Grand. That's supposed to be like their flagship property. But other than it sucked. This Fado stuff is good stuff. Whoop whoop. But yeah, so that was an interest. That was probably the latest night I was actually out. I crashed pretty early on this trip. No late nights at Stage Door. No visits to Stage Door at all, which is probably the best thing. Um, as a result, I have all three pairs of shoes still with me that I took along. Hey, there we go. Neon Vacation Dell in the house. Hung out with Dell a couple of nights. Well, I kind of hung out with him one night, and then I think we stayed up till like 2, 3 in the morning. The last night I was in town, which maybe wasn't a great idea since I had to get up like 2 hours later, but we had a good time. I edited the part out of the video where Dell was making time with a young lady who approached us at the bar. So I wanted to make sure we protected him and her. But no, we definitely enjoyed ourselves at the Luxor bar that night. Of course, the next day was the wedding. And things got a little blurry the night of the wedding, but the first part of the day was pretty easy. Once I did kind of get around, I met up with the one and only Duder. We were originally going to get a 2-for-1 deal at the Luxor buffet, but the line was so long we ended up just paying full price, and it was pretty good. Then we made our way to the Orleans and then back to the Excalibur, and then he had to get his COVID test. And we made our way to the wedding itself, which many of you were there. There was a nice pre-party under a tent. A lot of people handing out alcohol samples. They were not vendors, so far as I can tell, but they definitely were participating in giving away alcohol. Hey, 34 people have joined us. Is that right? 34? That's pretty good. Pretty good. We're up against Brian Christopher tonight and all of the local Vegas bloggers who blog every single night. So if you want to go check out Fremont Street, I'm sure somebody's doing that. So there you go. But no, I enjoyed the Luxor buffet. It was fine. I would definitely get the 2-for-1 though. $32.50 for a buffet is a bit much. So there you go. Yeah, wedding was there was a lot of pre-gaming at the wedding, and got to meet a bunch of people I hadn't met before. Hey, Kevin from Dublin has joined us. There you go. Thanks for dropping in, Kevin. It's pretty late where you are, so appreciate you dropping in and checking out our show, where I try to remember my Vegas trip. And things start to get a little blurry after the wedding. I did, if you want to see this, I don't know how much footage was taken, but I did notice Vegas Best Ideas actually took a fair amount of footage back in the hotel room after we were all sampling whiskeys and pretty much everything else. So there is video evidence of it. If you want to check out the most recent BBI, I think I'm sort of passed out in a couple of places. So there you go. Fago. Whoop. But yeah, no, beautiful wedding. It was nice to meet some folks that I hadn't met before. Pat 75 was there. Had not met Pat before. Was surprised somewhat to see L&D, Lisa and Drew. Are they still in Vegas? Where are they? Where are Lisa and Drew? Where's Waldo? I don't know. I think they've moved in. I believe that Drew is now Tamara's pool boy. I don't know. Not sure. Probably a good paying position. But yeah. But no, it's great to meet them. And there were many others. And great to met Thomas, Danish Las Vegas Tips and Tricks, the only officially sanctioned foreign outlet of Vegas Tips and Tricks. So yeah, that was cool. And had a good time with that. As I said, the wedding was beautiful. I cried. Well, there's a great picture if you haven't seen it. I'm sure most of you have. During the wedding photos, they got a shot of pretty much all of us who were there. Really just a fan of me, and you probably are. I'm kind of all the way at the back on the right-hand side. You'll see me next to Daniel's bald head. I think I saw Robert Garcia sneak in here when I wasn't looking. So hello, Robert. Glad you could make it for tonight's live stream. A flashback of sorts. Yeah, no, they can't still be in Vegas, but I don't know what's happened to them. So maybe we should be worried. I don't know. Yeah, the group photo is awesome. I understand, here's a great idea. We could make big poster size ones, autograph them, and we could sell them to our legions of fans. Think about it. Whoop! I think this stuff has alcohol in it. I'm not sure. But no, that was great. And met a lot of other people too, who unfortunately I don't remember. But yeah, there were some great people there. Of course, Bobby and Julian had to steal the show with their Dumb and Dumber look. It seemed entirely appropriate to me, but they were certainly quite well dressed, unlike me. I think I was wearing the same thing I'm wearing now. So, but no, it was good. Very beautiful ceremony. I would definitely recommend that church if what's going on with my hair. There we go. If you You want to get married in Vegas? Who knows? Maybe I will someday. I'm saying I will. Right? Definitely a nice place. There we go. There we go. There we go. I'm backwards. But yeah, that was cool. Yeah, obviously, well, Tina, it was great to see them as well. Again, so many of you were there, and I'm sure I'm forgetting some people as well. After the wedding, I had a great adventure with Duder and Daniel. We walked to the 7-Eleven, got us some provisions, and then walked down the street drinking our booze like some homeless folks, which is probably what we looked like a little bit as well. Yeah. So yeah, finally made our way down to Sahara. Good thing I had to pee. I don't have to pee now. It's okay. No bodily functions. I'm not farting even. So yeah, so it was very nice. We had our own little mini group poll that I think you'll see on Duder's vlog if you haven't done so. Yeah, there's and then we found our way back to the reception, which was quite elaborate. I was expecting like a casino bar, but we got this like ultra lounge thing instead, which was really cool. It was nice that Sahara was able to do that for them, and I took care of that. And I flitted around from person to person, probably missing all the most exciting activities, but enjoyed myself visiting for quite some time with several folks. So, and then somehow a bunch of us ended up making our way up to what I think was the Kino's room. Was it the Kino's room? Is that where we went? Did we go to your room? And if so, why did Walt have all his freaking whiskey up there? I'm trying to get some help here. I'm trying to get some feedback. Why did we go there? Whose room was it? They had some quality whiskey. I have to say that I did enjoy experiencing. I think we had like a $90 bottle of whiskey or something. It was pretty impressive. Okay, Walt's room first, and then ended up in our room. Wow, I don't remember anything about going from one room to another. So, but I know there's a photograph of me in bed with Duder and Dice. So obviously things got completely out of hand. Uh, my pants were still on and everything, so I think it's okay. But yeah, yeah, the whiskey was good. I used to drink whiskey from time to time, but yeah, so we appreciate Walt for sharing his whiskey. And then I know there was Malort and there was more whiskey, and I was kind of done at that point. I know a bunch of people went and did the bingo thing, which looked like it was pretty entertaining. And some other folks just kind of peeled off and went and got some food and went from there. But I was kind of done. At that point, my phone's completely dead, so I ended up, I think, catching a cab from Sahara back to New York, New York, which was fine. Yeah, that's the photo. Maybe that's the photograph we need to get autographed. Is the one where there's like the four of us are just kind of leaning half conscious against the wall. Yeah, I don't really remember that at all. I think we all like really bonded, but I don't know if any of us really remember bonding. 2.5 bottles of Malort. Oh, that like a bottle of that was probably Anthony just by himself. Probably just chugging it straight out the bottle. But yeah, that was really fun. It was cool being involved in the after party, and it was nice that the Kinos actually preferred to hang out with all of us rather than just with each other. Oh well. Anyway, it was cool. So good time. Good time. Did I mention the Fago is just fabulous soda? You don't haven't tried the Fago, and you're ever in the Detroit area, and you can get it without actually going into Detroit, that'd be pretty awesome. Yes, it was great that I saw that. I feel like Andy and Mark reached a new level in their friendship, or really, I really would call it more of a brotherhood, the two of them. It was pretty amazing. Oh, God. So Anthony lost something. I think Kino lost his shoes somewhere. I'm not sure whose room that was. Yeah, dude loves the Malort. It was fine. I don't really remember much about it, but I'm sure that I was happy to take more shots of it because that's how things tend to work. But yeah, 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 but pretty cool night. And, said that the bingo thing looked pretty wild. Looked like, I mean, there was the only thing that was missing was like a stripper pole and some topless dancers. And I'm sure that if it had existed, Duder would have been happy to oblige on that front. But yeah, oops, sorry, we shook the tripod because this is a very professional broadcast, and we don't want to accidentally disrupt the tripod. But yeah, the worst thing about it is I think that I didn't even really get to say goodbye to Walt and Tina, and then wasn't even thinking about it. I think they were downtown when I went downtown on like Tuesday yet. Well, not. Anytime I hang out with Walt and Tina, by the end of the night, I'm plastered. So maybe not such a good thing. But, yeah. So Sunday was an eventful day as well. I think for everybody was a little bit Sunday. Um, yeah, I think that was the consensus. Um, yeah, definitely the consensus. But I found my way. I managed to make my way to Excalibur, and several of us had the 2-for-1 brunch buffet there. Got to hang out quite a bit with Vegas Visual. Kevin, definitely check out his recent broadcast where he talked about the shutdown in Las Vegas. It's really beautifully done. He's actually very talented, unlike, well, me. But had a great time talking with him. Duder was also there. Kia Bell, Sweet Tea. They were hilarious. I think we sat in the buffet for a good 2.5 hours. And then I was able to check into the Luxor, which had a nice room there, had the wet bar, the fridge, the soaking tub. That's the kind of thing I look for. And there was no bidet. They did have a hose, but I think it was just something someone left from the previous visit. No. Um, Sunday night, I met up. Sunday afternoon, I went and took a lift up to, and I took god awful numbers of lifts and cabs on this trip. I was very lazy. I did not walk hardly anywhere. Um, but in any case, took a lift up to the Wynn, played a little bit there, met up with Mark and Liz, and we went downtown for a while. They had reservations at Oscars, which they had a great experience there, I guess. I think they got a lot of food comp, which always makes it a great experience. I got a chance to play a little bit at Main Street and Golden Gate. And we made our way down to the D, and the fun ensued at the Bar Canada, and encountered several people along the way. Tom and Mindy, who were not able to be at the wedding, but were just arriving in town. So we hung out with them for a while. I mentioned that Dell was there and he on vacation. Played a lot of Keno, drank a lot of beers. I did have a Caesar. You can't beat that. Well, you can. We also ran into Movestro, the master of ceremonies, master with a capital M, at the wedding. I would say what a great job he did, but his ass has been kissed enough the past 11 days, and he's starting to get a big head. He doesn't have that large a body, so I'm not sure that's going to be a good look for him. But yeah, so he was staying downtown, or staying in a closet at the Golden Gate, which sounded like quite an ordeal. I don't recommend those little rooms at the Golden Gate. You got to go up to the suite. And we played at Circa for a while. I know Mark and Michael and I got some footage of him in front of his plaque at the Girth Bar, as we call it. And yeah, and then I kind of decided it was time to go home. And again, by that time, the phone had died. So guess what? It was cab number 2 of the trip, and it was a pretty good, expensive cab ride. Not exactly $65, but there you go. Anyway, so I don't see Mark here. I don't see Movestro here, so no one's going to be able to help me reconstruct the end of that night, but it definitely got pretty blurry by the time we reached Circa. There's nothing like waking up in the morning and discovering you ate 2 slices of Bonanno's pizza and you have $159 worth of Tito's downtown at a hotel you weren't planning to return to. So that was my experience on, excuse me, on Monday morning, I guess. A lot of folks disappeared on Monday, headed home. I was in town for a couple more days. Monday, and I know she would be here if she could. The one and only Miss Crystal hung out with her, Mamacita, and that other girl. I don't remember her name, like Courtney or something. I don't know. If not, she should be named Courtney. She looked like a Courtney. And of course, once Duda realized that Mamacita was going to be involved, he hung out a lot longer than he had planned. But eventually he left because he wanted to try out his new Speedo at the Mandalay Bay pool. We got ourselves some Shake Shack, and then Crystal had to retire to Cosmopolitan to recharge her batteries. She can't be away for too long or she'll lose her superpowers. Yeah. And I mentioned how fabulous the Fago, yeah, Fago. I don't know what that stands for. Is Andy still awake? It's pretty impressive. Thing's been going on for like 38 minutes, which is 35 minutes too long. But I'm glad that Andy is still with us. Andy is back on the treatment this week, so you know, he's doing pretty well to be hanging with us all tonight. He was with us at the Kino premiere. If you're not subscribed to the Kinos, well, there's no reason you'd be here, so you are. But nice. Their insider view of the wedding week began this week, so check their video out if you weren't able to make it to the premiere. Monday was fun. Like I said, after that, headed back to the hotel, but eventually made my way back to Cosmo to spend a little time visiting with Andy and Simone. And we were joined by the Kinos at one point, and also Mercy. It was great to meet her. I forgot about there's so many people that were met on this trip. We hung out in the room and took in the view and had a really good conversation. I think, are my teeth actually red? This stuff's like toxic. This is like red dye number 2. It's a good thing I'm not like a rat. And he's making lemonade right now. Yeah, well, lemonade goes really well with brownies. I'll tell you, Simone makes a really tasty brownie. That's all I'm going to say about that. Isn't that right, Candy? Sorry, it's very impolite to chew your ice, but yeah. So yeah, that was a really good time and nice, relaxing evening for sure. Yeah. Fortunately, Mr. Kino was kind enough to walk me far enough away from the Cosmo that I got my bearings again and made my way back to the Luxor. I think that was pretty much the conclusion of Monday. Tuesday, I think the only person I really talked to on Tuesday was Dell. Went downtown, spent the day there, played quite a bit. Hit a 95-1 bet on that Fortune Cup game, which was maybe the only time on the trip that I actually cheered. You just can't beat that. Very impressive, for sure. Yeah, I hit a 20-1 shot and then a 95-1 shot back to back, and I decided, well, it's time to go. Finally got a 4 of a kind that day as well at downtown Grand. It was fun. Then I thought, I'm going to head back to the room and do a live because everybody else is gone, so I can do one. And then the phone blew up, and well, the rest is history. And yeah, that's kind of how it ended. You released JR into the night. Yeah, I have to say that as I got closer and closer to the hotel, I was like, I think I probably need just to go back to the room. So that's what I did. I played a lot on Tuesday. I lost. I mean, the days when I played a lot, I lost like mad. Yeah, there was an incident at Hofbrau House, and it for the only good thing about it is it is uh, slowly fading away, but slowly causing the lost shoe incident to be edged back into the history books. And so, yeah, I farted. It's all that chicken. I ate too much chicken. And I mentioned how high quality the Fago soda is. It is really something. I blame those liters of beer. I will say I thought the beer at Hofbrau House was pretty good. Mark and I both liked it. I think Mark had 2 liters of that crap. Ridiculous. Mark said he was excited to be here and he's not showing up at all. So I'll message him after this and kick his butt. Uh, yeah, it's best. It's best for sure. Yeah, the hot chicken may have been responsible. Oh, there you go. It's important to leave an indelible mark on others. You know, people will forget the things you say. People will forget the things you do, but they will never forget the smells you leave behind. Never forget that. Beautiful, beautiful saying. I think like some famous author said that. There was much Keno played on this trip, and more people are being brought into Keno Nation. Thanks to Keno Kid and I, who I believe we were joined by Cinnamon Girl, actually. Who else was in our 4-man Keno live stream from like a year and a half ago? They really took off after that. So yeah, everybody playing the Keno now. I think Mark's hooked on the Keno. Dell's hooked on the Keno. Maybe we're just hooked on the Keno because we can't win on anything else, and the money goes a little bit slower. There you go. So yeah, it was definitely time to come home after 6 days in Vegas. I'm not sure what the next trip is. Uh, Probably sometime this summer. And, very possibly will be a couples trip, as we have talked about hitting up Vegas. Miss Caitlin has not been, despite living like 5 hours away for the better part of the last several years. But so we'll see what the timing is there. Yeah, but definitely don't have anything on the agenda. Although it is always kind of rough when you don't have a trip planned. Good night, Kevin. I didn't know Kevin was leaving, but Andy did, and so thank you for alerting me. Yeah, I will say I liked the bars at Luxor, uh, not the bars on the window to keep me from jumping out. No, the casino bars. There's a bar right back across from the sports book, and had really good luck just hanging out there. They just keep shoveling the drinks. They weren't paying attention to how much you were playing either. In fact, they had the move that I always consider to be the ultimate Vegas bartender move. Is like they just gave me another beer. They didn't even ask. So that's when you know you got quality bartending. And then Dell and I, when that bar closed down, Dell and I hung out at I can't think what that place is called, but yeah, it's where it used to be where Lydia and Cell used to play. Those were the days pre-COVID. But yeah. Oh, thank you, Seeking Vegas Sunrise. Appreciate you joining up whatever this is. You're now a valued Vegas tips or trickster. So thank you. Appreciate it. You do get a really cool little insignia when you're in a live stream. So once a month, you get recognized for that. But thank you. Appreciate that. It's very nice of you. Um, don't really push the membership thing that much, but it's always helpful. Yeah. So I don't know. Any questions, any comments, any thoughts from the many of you who were there for the wedding experience? It was great to be invited. So I appreciate Candy and BJ for letting me be a part of their special day. And we were always made to feel very welcome. And all of us, the ragtag Vegas community. Yeah, you're going to go to bed here really shortly, Andy, whether you want to or not. But yeah, we're probably going to wrap this up pretty soon. But yeah, so it was really cool. Um, and just had an opportunity to meet so many people. And as a great wise man once says, it's all about the community, and it certainly was on this particular trip. I think for me and probably for most of us who were there, the frustration was that there just were so many people that you really didn't get an opportunity to spend enough time with the people that you wanted to, uh, because you couldn't. You spend 10, 15 minutes talking to someone. Oh yeah, we'll get back together, and then you never see them again because it's just there's just too darn much going on. Kid saying something. Hashtag Vegas friends. Yes, let's get that trending on Twitter. What happened to Andy's Twitter on the chitter? I haven't seen that in a while. So, but the good thing about the whole Vegas thing and the fact that we're all obsessed is that we all tend to go back again and again. So almost inevitably, you run into someone, usually the Kinos, because they're there pretty much all the time. Shelly, anyone in Vegas the end of May? I'm sure someone will be in Vegas at the end of May. Sounds like a question in the Facebook group. 75,000 people in that stupid 76,000 in that stupid Facebook group. And I think it's a good week if I can get 4 new subscribers. So there you go. Sounds like the Smice might be having a bonding experience with Seeking Vegas Sunrise and the Kinos. Yeah, you spend a lot of time on this shitter, Andy, so it definitely could be a thing. Yeah. I was talking about. I got so distracted by Shelly. I swear I was JP. Yes, we were going to have JP was about to go live from Luxor, and things went black. So maybe we'll do a special show with JP one of these days. Still waiting for an elevator at Sahara. Well, I didn't have elevator problems. Definitely had a good walk to the room. I like the rooms in the towers at Luxor, but you almost need to pack a picnic lunch if you're going to and fro. Caitlin has seen JP in the same way that you've seen JP. But we'll leave that sort of role playing kind of thing to a later point in the relationship. Maybe that's pretty advanced and disturbing. JP meets his 8th wife or something like that. That could be a thing. Yeah. Not. Look, he even left his hat with me. This hat, we need to get JP a new hat. I think that's going to be an important. That may be like we may have to have a GoFundMe to get JP a new hat. That thing's looking pretty sad. Yeah, no one's really ready for JP. Yeah, I mean, I guess I did not. I wasn't staying in one of the locations where there were a lot of people staying. Obviously, Cosmo was a place you could run into people, and obviously, over the weekend, I'm sure the same thing could be said of Sahara. I didn't have quite that experience. Had a couple of times where you just sort of stumble on someone, you try to remember who they were. So, yeah, there you go. There's 10,029 hats. Feel free. What's great is that you counted them, Andy. That's the beautiful thing about it. The beautiful thing about it. I don't know. I don't think I could wear a classy hat like that. He's definitely he's way above me. I don't know how Walt drives that much. It wears me out watching him go cross country. So that's my favorite ones of his videos, where he just goes, "I'm going to drive 18 hours to visit this tree." It's always awesome. It's always an amazing place. There's always a hamburger involved, and it's also amazing. So you just can't beat that. That's right. Pete saved your life. Sure he did. Sure he did. So, yeah. So there's a lot of vlogs to come, I'm guessing. I know we just started seeing the Andy vlog. Vlogapalooza will be starting here April 1. You're not going to want to miss that. We've got the Good Speeds, we got the Kinos, sure, we got the Seeking Vegas Sunrises, and so many more. I'm interested to see a number of people that if you really enjoy watching me, then definitely check out Duder's vlog, because I appear in that quite a bit. There you go. PJ is not home yet. And I think PJ is PJ's heading to Vegas in a few weeks, so I think he's actually going to vlog it. Hey, there's Walt. He wears himself out. You're not as young as you used to be, Walt. Be careful out there. One of these days, Bigfoot is going to take you down. Although that might be appropriate. Once Walt sent me like 3 or 4 of his T-shirts. I still wear those all the time. I wore one. Did I wear one? Yeah, I wore one in Vegas, actually. Power of the hat has summoned Walt. Yeah. Well, we're glad that Walt and Tina are finally stationary instead of in motion. Everybody say hello. Say hello, Walt. There you go. Kidnapped by Bigfoot, who then sold you to aliens. If only you could take your GoPro with you. Yeah, I understand that actually Walt taught Andy everything he knows about the 360. I can't prove that, but I have heard that. Oh, PJ's has got some lives coming up. Probably not going to be quite as many folks in Vegas at the end of April, so an opportunity to get a Vegas fix. Absolutely. I don't think you can get these at Buc-ee's, but I will say the other thing about Walt's videos, it makes me want to drive someplace where I can stop at a Buc-ee's. I want one of those little Buc-ee's Bucky things that Tina got the other day. That thing looked pretty cool. Definitely a good little ride along mascot. We got the up here. We got part of my Valentine's Day gift. This is little Kate. Very nice little bear. But yeah, we're basically sitting close to the top of the hour. But normally we would start winding this thing down. So, in case anyone else want to chat some more, or anybody have any questions, feel free to throw them out. But I'm pretty much out of material. Actually, I've been pretty much out of material for the last 3 years. But most of the people that I talk to drink a lot, so they don't notice that I repeat myself. It's supposed to snow here tomorrow because it's Kansas. I don't think it's going to last very long. Bucky's out. Talk more than Andy. Oh, I don't think that's really possible. Yeah. When is your next trip? Who's he talking to? Me? I don't know yet. Well, as soon as I know something, I'll let y'all know. If you've never checked out, and it's not obviously Vegas related, but if you've never checked out the vlogs that Walt did, I'll say Walt and Tina did because without her, no one's watching his channel, and that Andy and Simone did when they went to Gatlinburg. I think it was last year together. That was a classic series and from two different perspectives, but very cool thing to see. So, yeah. And I think Walt and Tina are heading up to Maine at some point. You know, I discovered today on a YouTube video that Maine is 90% forest. I didn't know there's that many trees in Maine. You know, Nevada is only 0.5% forest. That's probably about as large a disparity as there is between any two states. But both are states which derive the greatest share of their income from tourism. As far as you know, I could be making this all up. Yeah, mainly trees. There you go. So, seeking Vegas sunrise. That's the girl, you know, Christina. She's the one that's seeking Vegas sunrise. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, appreciate all of you. There you go. Yeah, there have been sightings. All right. I think we're going to go ahead and cut this thing down. We're down to the last 21 folks. Anybody who wants to chit chat with other members of the community, I suspect will be uh, back on Friday night. Well, Granny and Dice will be live. I think we'll probably, I don't know if the Kinos are going to continue their Friday night live streams, but probably pretty soon. And lots of premieres coming. Rosemary Hookers in Vegas. I don't think so. I didn't very much make myself available. The only night I was the only night I was at was sitting at a bar pretty late was the last night there, and Duder, not Duder, Dell. I think Dell and I were approached by a young lady, but he quickly deflected her attention away from me. So no, I was not propositioned. But yeah, that's okay. I had my day. I'm old and time to move on and settle down. I do not know if anyone is premiering tomorrow night. Uh, I know Ace mentioned something about editing something, but I don't know what he's editing together, whether he's working on his vlog. Didn't get to see nearly enough of Ace either. He and did get to meet Wonder Woman, but they were not in town for very long on this trip. So, and I did, and sadly, I did not make it down to the Ace birthday party. Oh wow, PJ thinking about driving to Granny Fest. Well, I do wish you the best. Maybe you and Walt can like do some kind of Smokey and the Bandit thing cross country. I don't know. There you go. But I'm not aware of anybody doing anything tomorrow night. Schedule it late enough that Andy will have to either stay up or he'll fall asleep and feel bad. That's what I would say. Yeah. I think I heard that PJ was going to ride a bicycle from Virginia to Las Vegas. Now that would be a vlog. I would watch that. Not for very long because just become on a bicycle. How entertaining would that be? All right. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, do appreciate you coming out for a little bit. It's good to reminisce. And hey, definitely check out some Fago. Whoop, whoop. And check out Insane Clown Posse. They're not as bad as you think. All right, until next time, we'll do a show on Saturday. I don't know what it'll be about, but we'll do something. And then next week, we're probably going to start the new Vegas tips and tricks shorts, or we'll do like a couple of minutes, but a couple of times a week. But it will basically be actual Vegas tips or tricks. So we're trying to take the Vegas tips and tricks on the daily thing back from Mark and all the people that have started doing that. So there you go. That's what we're going to do. Uh, but we do this once a month, and we appreciate those of you who join us on this little broadcast. It's always good to touch base with you all. I'm sure we'll talk to most of you very soon, and hopefully see some of you in the not too distant future. Once again, congratulations to the Kinos. This is the last time we're going to talk about the damned wedding, except when there's a premiere. All right, good night all. Hope that you have a great and lucky week. See you soon. Bye.